Hello and welcome back to the FPL Tom YouTube channel. In today's video, we'll be focusing on the best cheap defenders and goalkeepers for our game week 1 drafts. With attacking players' prices on the rise more than fuel prices in the UK, it's important that we nail our cheap defenders and our cheap goalkeepers to maximise our team value this season. With that in mind, if you do enjoy the content on the channel, we're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. So if you do enjoy the content that you see today, why not subscribe for more FPL content? But without further ado, let's dive into today's video. Starting off with our first cheap defender of the video, we're going to look at Neco Williams, only an option if he moves to either Fulham or Forest or any other Premier League team for that matter. However, there are reports coming out that he is joining Nottingham Forest as of today. This could be absolute just wrong by the start of tomorrow. But at the time of recording, it looks like he's going to join Nottingham Forest. Last season, impressed on loan at Fulham in the Championship, playing 14 games for them, scoring 2 goals and getting 2 assists. I put 0 chances created. He actually created 14 chances created with a good XG and a good expected assists as well. He's an attacking fullback, and that is something that Steve Cooper definitely likes within his sides at Forest. Look at what he did with Spence last season. Obviously, if we can get a regular starter for 4 million, I guarantee you this man is going to be in absolutely everybody's teams in an attacking system as well, under an attacking minded manager and an attacking minded player. A lot of attacking there, but yeah, definitely someone that we should definitely be considering. Obviously exclude the fixtures at the moment that are on the top: Fulham, Crystal Palace and Manchester United, as they are Liverpool's fixtures, as he's currently a Liverpool player. This player will only become available for us in terms of like selection if he does move to Nottingham Forest or Fulham. Let me know down in the comments, is Neco Williams in your thought process if he moves to Forest or Fulham? The next player that we're going to take a look at is in a very, very similar position, and it is Brandon Williams. Obviously, a very disappointing campaign for him last season at Norwich, where he played 26 games and was pretty much bang average, as was the rest of the Norwich team, really. There was only really Timo Pukki shine in that side. The rest of the team was just really, really rubbish, weren't they? But yeah, Williams, he didn't like the world light and has now been deemed surplus to requirements at Manchester United. And that right there is why we are looking at him. Obviously, again, it's very similar clubs that are targeting a right back, and that is Fulham and Nottingham Forest. They're the two clubs that have been slightly linked with him, but I've read today that he is pretty much deemed surplus requirements. 10 million, anyone can have him. Only add him into your team if he moves. He's another player, again, who will be a starting right back for someone at 4 million. And if he's just going to sit on our bench, because I think big at the back is going to be a thing again this year, you know, he is going to be a really good value asset for us. He allows us to get that extra 0.5 million, say if we went for an Arsenal defender or a Palace defender or someone like that in the 4.5 million price range. Especially with Neco and Brandon Williams, they offer us that extra 0.5 million, which could be the difference between a Kane and a Son in your team. You know, there's a big, big difference there, and that's a massive, massive thing come the game week 1. Moving on to our 2 goalkeepers that we're going to compare. Obviously, there are other goalkeepers available in the game at the 4.5 million price point, Pickford being one of them, Meslier the other that people are potentially looking at, but I have compared Sanchez and Raya. Let me know what you think of this graphic as well. It is a new one that we're going to be trying out, the head-to-head stats one, so do let me know down in the comments below what you think about this graphic. But the reason I have picked Sanchez and Raya is I believe that these two have the best opening kind of game week 8 fixtures up to game week 8, sorry. So starting off with Sanchez, he was the highest scoring 4.5 million goalkeeper last year in last year's game, scoring 126 points, keeping 11 clean sheets and only conceding 42 goals. Very good from Brighton last season in terms of defensive numbers. Sanchez was in the start of my at the start of my team last year. He was in it, and I took him out. For Ramsdale, and that didn't really work second half of the season. So lesson learned on that one, just stick with your 4.5 million goalkeepers. But yeah, very, very good numbers from him last season. Obviously overperformed underperformed, sorry, on his XG conceded and XG clean sheet as well, suggesting that he could have even got higher returns. He's been a pretty good goalkeeper for Brighton for the past 2 seasons as well. Very consistent. There aren't any kind of other options that you have to worry about with maybe getting dropped or anything in terms of that. And like we said, Brighton have really good fixtures. Obviously, we'll read them out. Game week 1, Manchester United. Game week 2, Newcastle at home. Game week 3, West Ham away. Game week 4, Leeds at home. Game week 5, Fulham away. Game week 6, Leicester at home. Game week 7, Bournemouth away. And game week 8, Crystal Palace. Like we said, great fixtures up till game week 8. Moving on to David Raya. Now, David Raya did have obviously an injury issue last season where he missed 14 games. But as you can see, he still did pretty well in terms of point scoring 95 points, keeping 8 clean sheets and only conceding 27 goals. Obviously, there is a slight underperformance on his XG clean sheet, and a slight overperformance in terms of XG goals conceded, suggesting that maybe he could have kept 1 more clean sheet, but also potentially should have conceded more goals. Similar to Sanchez, he has excellent long-term fixtures, pretty much longer to be honest, going up to game week 10. There's a real kind of argument to be made that potentially you go for both of these guys, both being 4.5 million. You could have a little bit of a rotation kind of thing going on, because I imagine around game week 10 we're going to potentially start to look at our first wild card. Maybe not, but yeah, both these goalkeepers have excellent fixtures going into the first 10 or so game weeks. Let me know down in the comments which one you're more convinced by. To be honest, I am more favouring David Raya, just down to the fact that Brentford finished the season so strongly last year. Brighton have also lost Basuma in that midfield, which potentially could mean that they concede more chances from opposition. So just let me know what your kind of thoughts are on that. To be fair, I'm kind of leaning more towards Raya, but let me know if you're going to pick one or none or both. Let me know down in the comments below. And moving on to our final comparison for today's video, and it is Ben White versus Tomiyasu. Now, we've picked both Arsenal defenders, as Arsenal, similar to Brighton and Brentford, have a fantastic opening 8 game weeks. Crystal Palace, Leicester, Bournemouth, Fulham, Aston Villa, Manchester United, Everton and Brentford. Really strong start to the season in terms of fixtures on paper for them. And we want to be taking advantage of that. Of course we do. One of the areas that we are looking at is the defensive area. So starting off with Ben White, scored 107 points last year, keeping 13 clean sheets. And it was an all-round great debut season for Ben White for Arsenal. Obviously, there was a little bit of a slip-up in the first game against Brentford. But overall, throughout the season, he was a very solid pick. And again, was in my team from game week 1 because, yeah, he's 4.5 million, playing for a top team who keep a lot of clean sheets. You can't really go wrong with that. Obviously, with Ben White, you don't really have much attacking output in terms of the way he plays. The other big question mark around him this season is will William Saliba take his position? Personally, I don't think he will for the first few game weeks. I think it's when we'll start to see the Cup and European Cup competitions come in that we potentially could see Ben White being rotated. But that is past kind of the game week 8 threshold that we're kind of looking at. So he definitely is one who we should be considering. But should we also maybe go Tomiyasu over Ben White? Looking at Tomiyasu's stats from last season, obviously missed quite a large proportion of the season due to an injury, and Arsenal's defensive numbers kind of slipped due to his defensive issues. Obviously, I personally believe he's probably the best right back at Arsenal at the moment. But in terms of his attacking output, it's very minimal. He is very much a defensive kind of fullback that we kind of don't see in the modern game, which, makes a change. In terms of output, he did get 1 assist, which is 1 more than Ben White. So we're counting that as a big W. But it is these small margins that could be the difference in terms of a 100k finish or a 50k finish. Over a season, these kind of decisions do add up. So that is definitely something to consider. Obviously, both players are very defensively minded and are not going to have attacking output on a regular basis. So I wouldn't really expect that. But Both players have really good, strong starts to the season. It's just a question mark of how nailed Ben White is, how nailed is Tomiyasu. Do we go for one of these, or do we potentially look elsewhere and maybe a Brandon Williams or a Neco Williams if they move clubs, or do we look at other 4.5 million players? I know the Crystal Palace defenders as well had a really good season in terms of point scoring for them last season. Highest 4.5 million players at the end of the game. Obviously Connor Cody pretty much maxed that out, but he's now at 5 million, so doesn't really fit into this bracket anymore. But let me know, are you considering adding an Arsenal defender? Maybe you could even go up to Kieran Tierney, or if you are looking at the cheaper options, which one are you considering, Ben White or Tomiyasu? And finally guys, if you did enjoy today's video, then please do drop a like, please do comment down below, and please do subscribe. We're back for the long haul, we're back for the season. I can't wait to get started. I hope you enjoy kind of the new setup, the new graphics that we're going for. Let me know if the camera works as well. I can go back to kind of just turning it off and just talking into the mic. But let me know what you make of today's video. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you're enjoying the release of the game, and I hope you have a fantastic day.